Greetings. Happy Friday, November the 14th, 2025. And yes, it is Friday, and I'm so glad that we've all made it to this day. And of course, the beat goes on Saturday and Sunday as well. But Friday still feels special to me. And I don't know. I usually get work done on Saturdays, but it's a different quality of work. It's a little more creative, or I don't know, just things that didn't need to get done during the week, but can do them with a little less pressure on Saturday. I really enjoy that, and especially creative stuff. I really, really enjoy that too. So Friday feels good. It's a nice day here, and it's, another kind of quintessential fall day. So no complaints there. It's going to be sunny and cloudy all day, reach a high of 50 degrees Fahrenheit. And, so definitely crisp, definitely hoodie, jacket weather. I've had a couple days where I'm in the city and I thought, it's not going to be that cold. And I was cold. So gotta let that reality set in and dress appropriately for sure. So what are we at? We got 37 days until the official beginning of winter. So we're just a month out. And then I was looking, and we are less than 2 weeks away from Thanksgiving. I mean, Thanksgiving will happen in the United States 2 weeks from yesterday. And so I don't know, that hasn't sunk in either. It just feels like time is, I don't know. It's really, really cruising by. So if you're in the States, I hope you've got some good plans. We're not sure what we're going to do yet, but we will figure something out. But we're not going to do any air travel for Thanksgiving at all. So whatever we do, it's going to be a ground game this year, a ground game. And I'm sure it'll be fine. So let's see, event wise, a couple things stuck out to me. Moby Dick, Herman Melville's novel Moby Dick, first published in the United States on this day in 1851. That's how old it is. My goodness. Not too long before it's going to be 200 years old. And boy, has that novel sparked so many other creative endeavors. I mean, I think of my favorite Star Trek movie, Star Trek II, which is sort of, it's riffs off of Moby Dick heavily and explicitly. But Moby Dick has had really an outsized impact on culture for a long time. But I didn't realize it was 1851. I guess too many data points. The other one that I found interesting was that Yale University announced that it would begin admitting women as undergraduate students on this day in 1968. So they started admitting women in 1969, and prior to that, Yale's entire history, I believe, was an all-male school. Entirely male. Can you imagine being one of the women in the first class that goes into that culture? That would be, wow. More needs to be written on this. I did do a quick search, not deep research, but there are some articles that I want to follow up on that. That must have been a fascinating and very challenging transition for sure. So, these things happen, and, it's easy to look over them or forget them or not know them, with all the other information we're supposed to consume. And yet it really puts it in perspective that things haven't been the way they are now for very long. And that means things the way they are now are going to also change. And the question is, are we changing them for the better? So I think that's kind of what's on my mind about that. So otherwise, back to documenting the adventure, the adventure, and the ventures. It's been quite a week. I mean, there's been breakthroughs and also just a lot of concern about how we bridge from where we're at now to where we need to be, how we get the funding for this. A lot of unknowns, a lot of stress around that, and yet also a lot of excitement and confidence at the same time. One of the things about pressure, like let's say financial pressure, is it does. I mean, there's a good side to it and the bad side. The bad side to it is if you're always arrested by scarcity, then and your brain, we know that you don't make very good decisions. On the other hand, having an acute need of some sort really can be a mind-focusing impetus, And if we can still stay open, creative, and whatever, but be very focused on what the priorities are. If the priority is cash, if the priority is, finding the power partner, if the priority is expanding your network, writing a business plan, whatever it is, and when that gets acute, when there's a deadline, and I don't know about you, but I was always motivated by deadlines, like in college, for example. If the paper had to be due by a certain time, as that time got closer, I was not someone who was going to really start working on it properly way ahead of time. Those students who did that, I always was amazed by. But deadlines, oh yeah. And so what I'm trying to do with, the financial pressure of this year in transitioning to a new type of business is allow it to be a mind-focusing motivation without a mind hijacking condition. And that line can I can cross over between a motivating and clarifying, signal to something that is arresting and blinding and debilitating. I can cross over, and it's all about how I'm cultivating my mind. Am I cultivating that there's always a solution, that what is the strategy, what is the next right thing to do, and letting certain things go that are not as important and not in alignment with achieving that goal? That's really where it's at. And so, I'd say today I'm probably a 3 out of 5 on that scale, 3.5 maybe. And I'll take it. It's when I drop below 3 that now we're in the danger zone. But I'm just noticing, okay, it's above 3, but really need to tend to that, staying open, because I need to get bridged between here, really the next 6 months, to be able to stand up the show that I want to stand up. That's going to need funding, and replace all the lost income from the last business, just for survival's sake. And all of that feels like a weight that is too heavy to bear, honestly. And yet it is going to be bearable because there's always a solution. And so that's really where I'm at with this part of it. Everyone who stands up ventures and moves from one venture to another can relate to this. I know I talked to enough people. So this isn't a victim thing or a martyr thing, but it is, as I document the reality of what it takes to do this kind of stuff, that is the reality. You'll have moments of excitement and it feels like it's moving forward. And those are always, in my experience, followed by moments where it feels like nothing's happening, and that's not true, of course. So anyway, I hope that helps inspire you a little bit to keep working on the mind. That is the garden where all the fruit and vegetables grow. And I don't know, I want to eat healthy, live a long time. So tend to the garden. And part of that garden is going to be having a great weekend and connecting with other people and resting and exercising and doing whatever it is that makes you happy and fills you up. So I hope you can do that. I'm going to do the same, and look forward to checking back with you Monday. As always, in the meantime, please be good to yourself and others. Give us a good rating on Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye for now.